Hello and welcome to What the F*** Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Thursday, June 2nd, 2022. Welcome to day 499. The House of Representatives will vote on legislation that would ban military-style assault weapons as early as next week, following mass shootings in Texas and New York, both by 18-year-old assailants who used semi-automatic rifles to kill a total of 31 people, including 9 children. The gesture, however, will mostly be symbolic, as Senate Republicans have vowed to oppose virtually any new limits on firearms. Meanwhile, 4 people were killed, including 2 doctors, after another gunman opened fire inside an Oklahoma hospital. The gunman blamed one of the physicians for causing him ongoing pain after having back surgery in May. The shooter, Michael Lewis, bought the AR-15 style weapon roughly an hour before the attack. Biden is scheduled to give a speech at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on the, quote, recent tragic mass shootings and the need for Congress to act to pass common sense laws, end quote. Meanwhile, Biden claimed that he was not aware of the baby formula shortage, despite company executives telling him at the White House in February that a shortage would be severe following the closure of an Abbott plant in Michigan. Biden suggested that he was not informed until April. The FDA closed the plant in February after an inspection found samples of a dangerous bacteria. The Biden administration also canceled $5.8 billion in student loan debt for 560,000 borrowers who attended Corinthian colleges, the now-defunct for-profit school network. The debt relief is the largest ever single discharge of federal student loan debt. Moving on, the EPA will reverse a Trump-era rule and restore authority to the states to oppose gas pipelines, coal terminals, and other energy projects that pollute local rivers and streams. For 50 years, states under the Clean Water Act had the authority to review and block energy and infrastructure projects that they felt threatened to pollute or harm waterways within their borders. But in 2020, Trump issued a regulation that reined in that power. Meanwhile, in Florida, the Supreme Court there refused to consider a challenge to a new congressional map, which gives a substantial advantage to Republicans. The map, which will likely give Republicans a potential 20-8 advantage, is expected to remain in place for this year's elections. Trump carried Florida by 3.3 percentage points in the 2020 election and was favored by a majority of voters in 20 out of the 28 districts in that state. And finally, Social Security is projected to be able to pay benefits until 2035, 1 full year later than previously projected. The rapid economic recovery following the brief recession caused by the COVID-19 pandemic means that the program's combined reserves will not be depleted until the year 2035, at which point the program will be able to pay only 77% of its scheduled benefits that help support payouts for retirees, the elderly, survivors, and the disabled, which come through tax income unless Congress steps in. Roughly 56 million people received retirement and survivor benefits in the year 2021. And in the polls, the Wall Street Journal says 57% of Americans say a woman should be able to get an abortion for any reason, the highest share since 1977. And Gallup says 55% of Americans identify as pro-choice, up 6 percentage points following the leaked Supreme Court draft opinion that would strike down Roe v. Wade. Pro-choice sentiment is at its highest level since 1995, when it was at 56%. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditis.